What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video I'm going to show you two mix bus setups using plugins in the Fat channel in Studio One 6. So the plugins I'm going to show here are plugins that were either designed for mix bus or commonly used for mix bus applications, and these plugins are part of the Fat Channel Volume 1 collection that you can purchase from PreSonus, or if you have PreSonus Sphere, then you already have access to these plugins and more in the Fat channel. So we'll get right into this. This is a session from an artist named Ambi, and on mix bus on this first Fat channel I have the Brit Comp, which is PreSonus's take on the SSL bus compressor, and for the EQ I'm using the Bax EQ, which the Bax EQ you may know from the dangerous Bax EQ that they built a while ago now, but it's a 2-channel shelving EQ for low and high frequency. Very easy to use and very nice for adding some top end and a little low end to your overall mix or any stereo applications here. So I'm going to play this first with it bypassed, or I'm going to play it a little bit bypassed and then I'll bring it in, and then we'll go through the compression and EQ separately so you can hear what it's doing.
Take me, somebody take me, I wanna take. Break me, somebody break me, I wanna break.
Alright, so now let's check out what just the compressor is doing. With the mix bus, I'm trying to just glue everything together and get everything to sound more cohesive. So this is with and without the Brit Comp.
Take me, somebody take me, I wanna take. Break me, somebody break me, I wanna break.
Alright, notice I'm only doing maybe 2 to 3 dB of compression. You don't need a lot of compression on the mix bus. Let's go over to the EQ. So with the Bax EQ here, I'm just adding a little bit of low end, which we're adding a little bit of low end, and we're adding a little bit of high end. Well, it looks like this lost my settings here. Let's set this back. So we're going to do a little bump at 84 hertz, and on the high end at 7K. All right, this is with and without the Bax EQ.
Take me, somebody take me, I wanna take. Break me, somebody break me, I wanna break.
All right, so also notice that the Fat channel does have a limiter. I'm not using the limiter here. In my opinion, limiting is for mastering, so I don't use a limiter on my mix bus when I'm mixing. I let my mastering engineer apply limiting. All right, so that's one. On this second Fat channel here, I've got the passive EQ, which is PreSonus take on the Pultec EQ, and for compression, we're using the classic compressor, which is a Neve compressor. So we'll start with the compression using this recovery is your release, 400 milliseconds. 2-to-1 ratio, just like with the SSL style compressor. Now this has a automatic attack, and this key filter here is your side chain for the high pass filter. This is going to filter out any low frequency from having it drive the compression. So I've got this set to like 120 hertz, therefore nothing below 120 hertz, or in this case the bass and the kick, isn't going to really drive that compression. All right, this is with and without the classic compressor. Actually, let's do the whole chain first. This is with and without the classic compressor and passive EQ.
Take me, somebody take me, I wanna take. Break me, somebody break me, I wanna break.
All right, so same concept here with this compressor and EQ. Just want to add some glue and cohesiveness. This is with the classic compressor, with and without it. We'll start with it without.
Take me, somebody take me, I wanna take. Break me, somebody
So with both compressors here, the classic compressor and the Britcom, they're both bringing the vocal forward a little bit, and it's also sitting better in the mix to me. Let's move over to the EQ. This is without and with the passive EQ.
Take me, somebody take me. I wanna break me, somebody break me. I wanna break.
So with the passive EQ, I'm doing really the same thing I was doing with the back EQ. We're adding a little bit of low end. This time we're doing it at 100 hertz, and on the high end we're doing it at 10K instead of 7K as we did with the back EQ. With this passive EQ, a little goes a lot. You see I have this set to 1 and this set to 2. The way the Pultec work, this is not 1 dB and this is not 2 dB, so you just really got to play it by ear and turn it up till you get what you're looking for. But there's 2 examples of 2 mix bus chains you can put together using the fat channel in Studio One. Definitely comment and let me know if you use the fat channel on your mix bus, and if you do, which plugins in the fat channel do you use. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up, and if you want to continue to see content from me, then you know what to do. All right, I'll catch y'all next time.